Ask any Gen Z what the best year of their life was. They will tell you 2016. The music, all bangers. The films, iconic. The news, dramatic. The weather, peak. 2016 was a prime SoundCloud era. Back then, we had artists popping out the gate like Playboy Carti, Lil Uzi, TK, Lil Pump, and my favorite, Ugly God.
Thanks, Ugly God.
Basically, Lil whoever. We had this new generation of artists that would literally mumble. You know, this was the golden era of mumble rap. These rappers barely opened their mouths, but they would still have us singing every lyric like it was a gospel. The old heads, aka anyone over 25 at the time, absolutely hated it. They just didn't get it. They didn't want to get it. They were hating. Overload. Twitter and podcasts were literal war zones. In today's terms, it was literally the YNs versus the unks. And the unks kind of lost. You would have old heads like Joe Budden hating Live-O on Everyday Struggle on Complex, and even kind of like beefing the Migos at one point.
My favorite groups. I've been covering for so long. I'm glad they succeeded, man. Hey man, you guys are nominated tonight. Have a good show. Wait.
But the thing is, these artists were different. They were loud, flamboyant. They had different color hair. They didn't give a fuck about anything. They drove the I'm not here for a long time, I'm just here for a good time. They were the exact mirror of the youth back then. And for once, it felt like we was all on the same wavelength. That music and that era is what locked 2016 nostalgia into our souls. And personally, whenever I need a quick hit of that nolly, you know, that nostalgia, that nolly, I just go back and watch Double XL Freestyle 2016. Go with. But there are two artists, in my opinion, that we need to give flowers to, that really defined the year musically and sonically. You know, all these little whoever rappers, they were good and they really did staple 2016 and where it is. But these two artists dropped projects that standed the test of time. Firstly, we have to give a huge thanks to the Giving Light Skins a Bad Name, El Drizzy Drake.
It's No Chopping 2016. If you remember the year, it was a good time.
In April of 2016, he dropped Views, an album that just gets better with time. I'm talking, you couldn't escape the songs that were on this album. Every party you went to, every car you got into, every radio station you flicked through, they would be playing songs like Controller, One Dance, and Hotline Bling. These Ross Clark tunes were on loop. Literally, you couldn't get away, and no one wanted to. They were bangers and mash. Drake was a staple influence in 2016, especially the summer. He had just came out of rap beef with Meek Mill that he emerged victorious in, and on that high, he used that momentum to drive the rest of the year. And secondly, Mr. West dropped one of the greatest albums in his whole discography ever.
Wake up, nigga, wake up. We about to get this paper.
The Life of Pablo, commonly dubbed TLOP, was a movement in fashion and music. Everything about this rollout was perfect. The drama with Taylor Swift, where he had an infamous line, let me pull it up actually. He said, for all my Southside that know me best, I feel like me and Taylor might still have sex. Why? I made that famous. And this is during a time where tensions were high, you know? Taylor and Kanye didn't have the best relationship, considering 2009 he hijacked her award ceremony, another goated move by Kanye. Even the listening party is another iconic moment that happened this year. You had Kanye displaying his new clothes, you had Lil Yachty modeling them, you had him, Young Thug, Pusha T, all catching the maddest vibe, just in this massive dome place. I'm pretty sure it's Madison Square Garden, correct me if I'm wrong. Just like, look at this picture behind me. This picture is infamous. Do you know how many people have this picture as their iPhone wallpaper? I would say 1 in 20. And that's quite a lot considering this was 9 years ago. Even the quote unquote white people music was just solid. Light Skin Bieber was in his bag. Calvin Harris, Taylor Swift, Ariana Grande, all arguably dropping their best work. Even the music charts, the top 100, whatever you want to call it, was just tip top shape. Like, it wasn't just random songs you didn't know. Everyone knew the songs. Like, we were all in unison. Even if it was a one-hit wonder from SoundCloud. What was to name a few? Caroline, Uber Everywhere. You know, many more. All 100 songs on that chart we've all heard 100 times, and they were actually good songs. Like, they weren't just getting pushed out by labels and it was force fed to us and, you know, just manufacturing stands. This was some random kids more time on SoundCloud dropping a one hit and going clear with it. And some actually stayed, like Lil Yachty. He dropped one night, you know how it goes. But he's still here today. Some of them didn't make it. But hey, that's life, innit? Now, me being from London, I have to talk about the UK music scene. 2016 was also part of our golden era. I know, right? Shock. The underground was finally making money. Real artists were getting signed and heard. They weren't just making bangers for the mandem anymore. It felt like the world was listening. We had Santan Dave as a YG, like 16, 17, maybe 18, gaining mad attraction and even landed a Drake remix. So that's international levels right there. Notes was calling up Madison. Fredo was telling us these niggas ain't 100. And he weren't lying. And Mostack were telling us man were lying. AJ Tracy was dropping, look, it's another one. It could be a sweet boy ting or a gutter one. London was on fire. Block parties were happening all the time. And for the most part, they were good vibes. But, you know, someone would pull out a kitchen utensil and lock it off just to say I locked off the motive. And if you're a millennial like me, you've just finished secondary school, you've just done your GCSEs, you were gassed to finally see what life outside school looked like. And personally for me, it was alright. Like the first 2 weeks of the summer holidays, I was a lost youth. Like I was like, bro, school's over, my life's over, I'm depressed, I don't know what to do. But give it like another 2 weeks, I was calm, I was out here.
She's a
Pokémon GO, the peak of world peace, is something I need to talk about because that moment in time was absolutely unmatched. In the summer of 2016, Pokémon GO dropped, and for a second, the world stood still. For one brief moment in history, it didn't matter who you were, where you came from, who you voted for, what your social status was. As long as you had a phone, you was outside, walking around or chasing down virtual Pokemon like your life depended on it. We are talking about people that haven't done a single cardio workout in the past 5 years or even their life, outside on the mains, running just because they heard, guys, there's a Charmander here. And there was no judgment. There was no judging. We was all in the same movie. Society high-key functioned better that week than it ever has. You could actually go outside and talk to a random person and it wasn't awkward. It was normal. You'd post up at your regular Pokestop and next thing you know, you're talking to strangers. Or you're getting a young Snapchat. See a thing, playing Pokemon GO, it's up. You'd be making friends, trading tips. Even people that wouldn't usually leave their house would come outside for this one. It's been the closest we ever got to world peace. And I want to be challenged on this. Bring me an argument where at one time, everyone was outside, socializing together under one common mission like this. The diversity of people was insane. There was no political debates, no social media beef, just people running around in the sunshine trying to evolve their Pikachu. Life was simple, people were happy, the streets were packed, parks were full. And I'll be honest, we'll never see anything like this again. I'm saying it now. So, move on. Now, fashion in 2016. Sensational. This was the true Hypebeast era. Everyone wanted to look like they stepped off a Tumblr mood board or a complex street style page. And I was one of them. Yeezy running the game. Kanye West had everyone dressing like a post-apocalyptic monk. Distressed hoodies, oversized tees, military boots. Brother had people out here looking like stylish refugees. And it worked. Yeezy season 1 through 3 sold out instantly. The 350s, the 750s, the turtle doves. If you had a pair, you were 30. Even if you couldn't get them, you'll be on StockX window shopping like it was ASOS. And don't get me started on ASOS. That's where I was shopping. because I was broke. And even then, it was peak. You had the Hypebeast starter pack, Supreme box logo, Bape Shark hoodie, Adidas track pants. People were queuing overnight just to buy bricks that had a Supreme logo on it. I'm being serious. Supreme dropped a brick and it sold out instantly. Late stage capitalism never looked so clean. Supreme was like the original Balenciaga. Like Balenciaga now take the piss. Like they'll make a shoe and they'll cover it in like something that looks like shit, like mesh it in with the product and actually put it on their website, and man will cop it just because it's Balenci. They will cop that and they'll rock it as well. Mostly Nigerians. You know who you are. And let's not forget, UK streetwear was having a moment. Trapstar was popping. You would see people in a Nike Tech like it was school uniform, and I was jealous of them. It wasn't just clothes, it was an identity. Fashion back then wasn't about drip checks or TikTok trends. It was about being plugged in. If you knew, you knew, and if you didn't, you just looked broke. Like me. I knew, but I was broke. Like I couldn't afford Supreme. I couldn't afford Yeezys. But I was trying to make it work. You know what? Out of pure humility, I will put a picture behind me, or even full screen, of me trying to be a hype beast with clothes from ASOS. But you know, I was still kind of like trying it out. Like I was sourcing. It was my dream to be a hype beast. And now, guess it's my dream to be a YouTuber. Who would have thought, eh? If you were really outside in 2016, then you would know the memes, untouchable. This is before every joke got recycled into 12 TikToks and turned into a relatable ad. Back then, the memes were raw, unfiltered, and came with like zero context. And that's what made them elite. Just to name a few, yes, a few, because this could be its own YouTube video in totality. You had memes like Archer's clenched fist, can't go wrong. Harambe, rest up. Damn Daniel. And that one got like, that went viral. The guy who done that, he went on Ellen DeGeneres. He got a bag off that. Evil Kermit. And finally, Cash Me Outside. How about that? She turned a Dr. Phil appearance into a whole rap career. 2016 changed her life. Like it changed all of our lives. And of course, the SpongeBob memes. Pretty much undefeated. Like, I challenge you this. Go to any episode of SpongeBob, go to a random point of episode, freeze frame it, you've got a meme. It was a factory. 2016 was a year memes just started getting weird on purpose. Like, they were so abstract, you would just look at it, breathe in, exhale, and be like, yeah, this app's tapped. You had surreal and deep fried images, but that's what made it golden. It wasn't monetized, wasn't made for clout, and it wasn't forced. These memes were made by kids with nothing but Wi-Fi and trauma, evidently. But somehow these jokes reached millions. And this is what I'm talking about. We was all in unison. We could all see a picture of a deep fried Chief Keef with no context. Look at that. Be like, I get it. I get this one still. This one's for me. I need more of this. Double tap. Share with a friend. Profile picture. I'm different, but we're all the same. And again, I could go on for hours, but I simply just don't have the drive nor the time to record that long video and then edit it. So I'm just gonna throw up some honorable mentions. And who knows, if this video bangs, blows up, goes to the sky, we might revisit this topic in full. But until then, this is all you're getting. So without further ado, we have the US election. Donald Trump versus Hillary Clinton was like a Netflix original, but with just bad writers. Like, it had the rest of the world watching, we were all looking, we was all entertained actually. But we were kind of like asking, you know, it's like a friend that comes into school with scars. Like, he's been beaten up at yard. And we're like, hey bro, everything alright at home? Parents fine again? Are you alright? Because America was in shambles. But also on our side of the pond, it was peak as well. We had Brexit. We left the EU. We were no longer part of Europe. I don't really understand the ins and outs of politics because I'm a layman. But all I know is our currency got smoked and Tom and Harry's mums were talking about sovereignty. clown sightings. Random people were dressed up as clowns and apparently they killed people. I don't know. I feel like the media dragged it up and made it a big thing. But either way, it was happening. Classic 2016 moment. You know, I'm gonna grab a calendar that has all the months on it. Obviously, why would a calendar not have the months on it? And you know, it will have the most pivotal moment of 2016 in each month. Just because I feel like I'm not even covering this to its fullest form. Now here's my theory on why I think this year was so pivotal and so widely regarded as the best year ever. And you know, you have this trend now of people coming out and saying, oh, take me back to 2016. Oh, 2016. Remember 2016? Oh, 2016. I believe this year felt so special because it was the melting pot of everything. Culture, technology, and generational identity coming together just at the right time. Yeah, you had major social media apps starting early on, like Facebook in 2004 and Instagram, I'm pretty sure in 2011. But these things just started. People were still navigating how to actually use them. Like, it's all fun and games, adding a friend, sending a message, posting about your day. But what happens if we just post this deep fried image of SpongeBob? You know, what happens then? And I guess someone done it and the rest was history. So when people say bring back 2016, they're not just being nostalgic. They're missing the time where everything actually did kind of feel pure. The music was rebellious, the memes were unfiltered, pop culture was chaotic, and the fashion was ridiculously vile. And life just felt real. All in all, the year wasn't perfect, but it felt alive. And that energy and that feeling, we just still seem to be chasing it. Stop me yapping. It's been a great video. You know, I really enjoyed this. It's been nice talking to you. And I'll see you in the next one. And if I don't, that means I quit. Because I'm a quitter. And there's nothing that can be done about that one, unfortunately. But enjoy your day, your night, your morning, your sleep. Safe.